Lomachenko is well known for his angular attacks and particularly his use of the outside angle against orthodox opponents. Something he's been displaying more often as he moves up in weight divisions is his use of the inside angle. Having the ability to attack from different angles is pivotal in boxing, and this is an evolution in Lomachenko's game that has allowed him to have the success that he does at higher weight classes. The conventional wisdom in the southpaw versus orthodox matchup is to step to the outside of your opponent's lead foot, thus setting up the dominant outside angle. Moving to the inside flies against this conventional wisdom because it puts you in line with your opponent's power hand. In this sequence, Lomachenko intentionally puts himself in line with Pedraza's right hand to bait it out and so he could counter it.
Повертається після паузи у 7 місяців і нікуди не буде поспішати. Це зрозуміло.
Так, ну ми вже звикли майже.
Notice how in this position neither guy has lead foot dominance and neither guy has lead hand dominance. But there you see Lomachenko is controlling the lead hand of Pedraza with his lead hand, and by doing this is basically saying that Pedraza cannot hit him with his lead hand. But neither guy has lead foot dominance yet, it's still very neutral. There you see him touch out the lead hand again, controlling the distance and controlling Pedraza's lead hand, baiting Pedraza to throw the right hand. By controlling the lead hand, Lomachenko gets Pedraza to become impatient and commit to a right hand that he's able to react to because of the distance control from his lead hand. The true genius here isn't that he slips the right hand, but that he simultaneously steps to the inside angle, effectively squaring Pedraza up for a counter left hand. And there you see the clean counter left hand from Lomachenko. I must stress the point that Lomachenko did not have the inside angle when Pedraza threw the right hand. Lomachenko stepped to the inside angle as he slipped the right hand, giving him precious inches to bring his left hand closer to Pedraza, which in turn buys him milliseconds to land the counter left hand. Every second is precious in boxing, and the positions you put yourself into can dictate whether or not your punch will land.
Повертається після паузи у 7 місяців і нікуди не буде поспішати. Це зрозуміло.
Так, ну ми вже звикли майже.
Силь абсолютно керований боксером є Ломаченко молодший. Ох, яка трійка навіть.
Watch in the sequence how Lomachenko actually flirts with the outside angle. See how he steps his lead foot to the outside of Pedraza's lead foot right there. But then he switches to an inside angle here. Notice how his foot here, if you look here, his foot is clearly on the inside of Pedraza's lead foot. And this is exactly what coaches would advise against. With his foot on the inside, he puts his head actually on the center line and is in big danger for Pedraza's right hand. His head is exactly in line with Pedraza's right hand. But this is what he does to bait that right hand out. With his head on the center line and him being in punching range, he baits out that right hand from Pedraza and slips it in anticipation. You see the great reflexes from Lomachenko, and he counters him with that left and right combination. Once again, just like the previous sequence, Lomachenko beautifully steps his lead foot to the inside of Pedraza's lead foot as he slips the right hand. This is incredible display of timing and coordination from Lomachenko. And once again, you notice that Pedraza's feet and Lomachenko's feet form that of a T. And it's this T position which is a highly advantageous position for Lomachenko because Pedraza's entire center line is exposed. This leaves him wide open for pretty much anything Lomachenko could possibly throw.
Ломаченко також дуже спокійно, ще й встигає слідкувати за діями Педраза. Ломаченко також дуже спокійно, ще й встигає слідкувати за діями Педраза.
Watch the sequence here. Now Pedraza has actually switched to southpaw and is backing up into the corner here, and Lomachenko presses forward. But watch what happens here. See, Lomachenko, he realizes that this straight left hand is coming from Pedraza and is still able to roll under it. And Pedraza does a smart thing here. He actually escapes through the back door here. He steps out to the side. But look what happens. Lomachenko recognizes that Pedraza has effectively squared himself up again. And instead of switching to southpaw and following Pedraza, Lomachenko just stays where he is, which Pedraza has turned him into orthodox. And instead of switching over to southpaw, he stays in that orthodox stance, and then he shoots this right uppercut because the angle is there. Pedraza has squared himself up that slight second that he stepped outside, and Lomachenko catches Pedraza squared up with an orthodox right uppercut. Beautiful boxing from Lomachenko, a beautiful recognition to realize that Pedraza is square at that exact moment and throws this combination. You notice how Lomachenko is in an orthodox stance right now, and he just shoots the punch instead of chasing Pedraza.
Бум. Працює головою. Бум. Працює головою. Бум. Працює головою.
Here once again we see Pedraza in a southpaw stance, and Lomachenko presses forward as Pedraza retreats back to the ropes. And so we see here Lomachenko throws a combination, and Pedraza does a good job of defending against it. But we see that Lomachenko, instead of continuing throwing, he actually steps very so slightly to the inside of Pedraza, which once again, by taking a slight step to the inside of Pedraza with Pedraza in the southpaw stance, Lomachenko's line of attack for his left hand forms a T with Pedraza's feet and effectively squares him up for this left uppercut. See, Lomachenko could have kept throwing at the position he was in, but he understands that by changing the angle mid-combination, he's able to open up Pedraza's defense because he changed the angle. This is beautiful boxing. Let's watch this all come together. On the inside, he peppers him with uppercuts, left hand. Watch him change the angle here, squares him up with the left hand, change the angle, squares him up again with the right hand, and then he finishes him here. Beautiful boxing. Just to recap the main point here, in the southpaw versus orthodox matchup, the outside angle where you position your lead foot on the outside of your opponent's lead foot is traditionally the dominant position sought out by both fighters. However, when your opponent doesn't give you the outside angle, you must be able to take advantage of the inside angle to make your game much more dangerous. Most boxers are taught to seek the outside angle and are used to their opponents doing the same thing. If you can show your opponent that you choose to seek the inside angle instead, you can catch many of your opponents off guard. The outside angle is a much more dominant position than the inside angle. However, just like everything in boxing, it does have its uses. And that's going to be the end of the breakdown. I thought this was a pretty good performance by Lomachenko. He did show some evolution in his game to have some success at these higher weight classes. But let me know who you think he should fight next and what you thought of this fight. And as always, if you like my content, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you all for watching.